Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, it's been a little bit of a minute since we've been on here. So many things popping up, mostly on my end. But we are here today to give the people what they want. And that's heaping helping of AM Sports Media and boxing. What's going on, everybody in the chat? What's happening with you? Got about 15 people in the building, 8 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, make sure you smash it. What's going on, Cornelius Bennett? All things. What's going on?
It's been a good little minute, man. Life been lifing.
Oh man, that's smooth as shit right there. So doggone good. Let's hop into it, man.
Yeah.
Before, what is that? A protein shake, or is that secret sauce you used to get out there on the streets of Mexico? Just a question.
The sauce you picked up every time, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, so there's a lot to talk about, Jay. And before we get there, I want to make sure that I give thanks to the people that support the channel. Number one, the amazing patrons of the channel, and you are absolutely correct. $500,000. Happy Father's Day to everybody that's out there currently. I'm a girl dad myself, so they gave us a lot of praise today. I appreciate my wife and my kids for the love that they gave me today. Man, shut your punk ass up.
Yeah. Exactly. Holidays.
So
Happy Day, punk.
I appreciate you, man, because that's the only that's as nice as it gets from you. So I'll take it.
Goddamn right.
What was I about to say? I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a few things that's currently going on in the sport, Jay, that I would like for us to talk about, to speak to. And so, before I get there, I want to say thank you to the people that support the channel, which is number one, the patrons of the channel. Number two, the sponsorship that we get. So, Rock Dart Interactive, if you need anything relative to website design, logo design, they're doing some amazing things over there now with automation and AI. So that's incredible. And then Nadaz Vodka, www.nadazvodka.com, African-American owned, the best tasting vodka that is out there. So make sure you guys go and check it out. What's going on, Teach? Salute to you as well. Salute Marquee AMC. What's going on? Jay, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Where do we want to start with? We want to start with Africa last night?
Yeah, man. Let's start with Africa. We don't really talk too much about Africa too often, so let's go ahead and start with him.
First and foremost, I had him winning the fight. Going into the fight, I felt that he was going to win this fight. I had no doubt in my mind. But what I thought was interesting is how dominant he was. I thought he beat George Kambosos, but I didn't think he would look anything, like Devin Haney, and the way that Devin Haney systematically took him apart. But he actually did it more impressively than Devin Haney. That was the thing that was most impressive for me, Jay. And he just looks so sharp. And the jab, the sharp counter right hand, throwing the 1-2 and the 2-1. And really didn't get too complicated or complex in terms of his strategy. Looked real good from the outside. Only looked somewhat decent on the inside as he was, trying to get to the body. But ultimately, he did what he needed to do, and he looked really good in doing it, Jay. So that was, to me, the best I've seen Hitchins look to me. What's your thoughts on the fight last night, his performance? And after you tell us that, let's juxtapose it to what we saw from Devin Haney. And, Richardson Hitchins made the claim last night that he was on the same level as the Teofimos and the Devins of the world. So I think it's only fair that we juxtapose his performance against Kambosos versus what we saw from Devin Haney. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've seen people talk about it. People said that, well, this is Kambosos after 3 losses. He's washed now. It wasn't like Kambosos was some mega star before he took them losses too. You know what I'm saying? He caught Teofimo, beat Teofimo, whether Teofimo was sick, had a health injury, health issues or whatever, he beat him. Teofimo didn't want to smoke back, run it back with him for whatever reason it was. He fought Devin for 24 rounds, got dominated by Devin pretty much virtually almost every round in that fight as well. Came back, had a lackluster performance against, I forgot who he fought. Then he came back and fought Loma, got stopped by Loma, who was also older, and some people said was washed as well, pretty much on retirement. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I mean, to me, it's still the same Cambosos. It's no different, but the the way he used that jab was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? He used that jab perfect out there. I really appreciate the way he did it with the jab. I was calling for a body shot from him to double back up to the top to get him up out of there. He finished him off with a body shot. We're talking about the Discord. So if y'all not on, get on the Discord. We talk boxing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether it's us, ASVP TV, anyone else, they are always in there talking boxing. You know what I'm saying? So it's always something to talk about in there. But I like the fact he went to the body. He said he did something that he wasn't normally doing. He's staying in range as far as the danger zone, quote unquote. You know, because he'll just jab you to death 1-2 all day, get the win however he may be. But he went there, wanted to be a little bit dangerous and get Kambosos up out of like he did. He's a key guy in the 140-pound division with that jab he has. You know, I like the fact he showed that he wanted to be a little vicious and get him up out of there. That's something some people don't do. You know, we saw, with Devin, he didn't go that route, but we're gonna talk about it in a little bit. But overall, I gave him an A for that performance. I gave him an A for the performance. He didn't rush it. Defense was pretty tight as well. He only got caught maybe a couple of times in the whole fight with some shots, but it really was never hurt. So I give him an A for that performance.
Now let's juxtapose his performance versus Kambosos versus what we saw from Devin Haney. In your mind, how do you think those two performances stacked up? Who did you feel was more impressive in terms of the 24 rounds that we saw with Devin Haney versus the, 7 rounds? 6.5 rounds?
Yeah, I think it went 8. He went 8 with Campbell last night.
He got in to the 8th round? Okay, so 7.5 rounds. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, they went about it different ways. I'm not going to say Devin didn't dominate Kambosos because he did. He dominated him. He just dominated his own way. And we know what Devin's going to do. He's going to use a jab, move around the ring a little bit. And that's about it. He's not going to go for the kill. Richardson Hitchins went for the kill. And again, people saying they already in the chat, well, this is what undefeated. Kambosos was undefeated when he fought Devin. Kambosos was not that much better when he fought Devin. He was 2 losses. Yeah, he had 3 losses, but it wasn't like he was Sugar Leonard back then. Also, he just became Kambosos.
Yeah, if you look at Kambosos, he had problems with Mickey Bay. I think it was a fight or two before he fought Devin. It was clear. Yeah, it was clear he was going to get smoked by Devin. That was not news. We knew that was going to happen.
I just like Hitchins had a killer instinct to get him up out of there. Devin had 24 rounds of that, and he never pressed the gas to get him up out of there. He could have gone back to the body because Devin body work against Loma was great. Devin was killing Loma to the body. If he had implemented that against Kambosos, he would have got Kambosos out of there as well. But he just wanted to do it how he did it. That's how Devin fights.
I disagree when you said that they did it in different ways or they went about it differently. I think they went about it the same way. I just think that Hitchins was a little bit more willing to put himself in harm's way to land a big punch versus Devin. That was the only distinction, but it was really sharp boxing that really just took Kambosos apart. For me, I thought his performance against Kambosos was more impressive than Devin. I will give credence to the notion that Kambosos, even though he was not fantastic back when he fought Devin, was a better version of himself. So I would say that, there's probably been, that may not have been much, but it's still a better version of himself. So will I say that there's credence to that argument? Sure, because it's harder to beat somebody who's undefeated and hadn't, taken any wear and tear. However, to the point that you're making, I don't think that there's a significant distinction between old George Kambosos and current George Kambosos. And because of that, I give Africa the nod there just because I feel like he was willing to, and this is something that I've complained about as it relates to Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. He was willing to counter shots and put himself in a position where he could be counter in order to get his stuff out, Jay. And that was the important part. And that was the thing that impressed me more so than anything else. And that was the reason why I feel he was more impressive, because Devin just kind of tries to stay on the outside. And don't get me wrong, the less punishment you take in the game, the better. That's all fit well and dandy. But you have to be someone who is willing to also risk a little. You ain't got to risk a ton, but risk a little in order to get your stuff off. Floyd used to risk. Floyd used to slip and counter. That's how he got caught by, what was kid name now? Maidana. That's how he got caught by Maidana, because he slipped and Maidana was coming with the second punch. Sometimes you'll be put in harm's way to get your stuff off, but that makes you more of an impressive fighter to me when you're doing that and taking those risks and taking those and creating those opportunities versus someone who is, always gun shy and just waiting for you to not punch. So for me, it was Africa's performance. Now, he went off last night, and I done got to a point now where it's one thing when I see these young guys use, ninja, but when they use it on like platforms, it's like DAZN or Showtime. Like we don't need to do that, man. Like we don't need to do all that. So I didn't like that part of what he had to say. But ultimately he got his point across, which was he wants to fight Devin Haney next. I'd be interested in seeing that fight. I think it's two sharp fighters with boxing skills. Some people would try to say that would be a boring fight. I don't think it would. I would actually be thoroughly entertained by the fight, specifically now that I saw what Africa had to do last night. But, Jay, what's your thoughts on that? Is that something that you would be interested in seeing?
Yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, I don't like the fact that Tio was right there. He was all chummy with Tio. I don't like Tio.
Why you don't like Tio? Why you don't like Tio?
Multiple reasons, man. Multiple reasons. The monkey stuff, banana stuff, all that stuff. Fuck Tio. All right. Fuck him. That shit I didn't forget about that shit. So I don't appreciate Africa being all chummy and just going straight at Devin like that. I know him and Devin got their own little beef and everything. Cool. But you can't be cool with this other man that's talking bad about people that look like you and everything. Then later on, he's like, yeah, well, Tio talks crazy. No, that's not crazy, man. That's not crazy. But I'm here to see Devin versus Africa. I think it'll be an interesting fight since Africa is not a power puncher like that. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Devin handles him. They both got really good jabs. So I think that'll make for an interesting fight and see other intangibles. And if Africa really don't like Devin like that, it's going to really make that fight be that much better. Also counter on the opposite side, on the flip side, I don't mind him not fighting Tio, because Tio ain't going to get a bag then. Freeze him out. I don't mind that either, but don't be chummy with him like he was. You know what I'm saying? Devin always catching strays no matter what. I saw Devin say that he'll fight him at 147. Not 140, which I figured Devin was going back down to 140. His last fight was at a catch with a 144 against Ramirez. So I knew Devin was going back down to 140, but good thing about it, Africa did say, Devin is the man compared to him, as far as like the hierarchy and everything, who's going to be the A side, B side type stuff. So that's cool for that to happen. I'll be here for, I know a lot of people might not like it because they're going, it's going to be it's going to be boring. I think it'd be good boxing. I think it'd be really boxing, because neither one has that KO power. I think they're going to try to out-strategize each other in that fight.
Yeah, I think it will. Let me ask you a question, though, before we continue on this path. Who do you dislike more, Teofimo Lopez or Canelo Alvarez?
Tio.
Who do you dislike more, Teofimo Lopez or Terence Crawford?
Tio.
What boxer do you dislike more than Teofimo Lopez?
Probably Ryan Garcia.
Why do you dislike Ryan Garcia more than you dislike Teofimo? Oh, because they both said ninja.
Yeah, they both went around the same stuff. They went on that foolery bullshit.
Okay.
The reason I dislike Canelo is because the way Canelo moved his last 5 or 6 fights. Not fighting is mandatory, and someone like David Benavidez or fighting or Jamal Charlo when Jamal was actually active back then, or Boo Boo. I still had him beating both of them but I would rather see him fight them versus Billy Joe Saunders or Adney Urim or anyone like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my issue with Canelo. And now he's talking about, oh, David Benavidez don't bring nothing but weight, but he was talking about fighting at cruiserweight just a year and a half ago. So that's why I have an issue with Canelo.
Man, George Camboso was talking like he about to retire. I'm sorry, I was just looking at something that just posted.
He said he basically said that before fight before last as well. You know, he got enough money and everything, so he's good. He could retire. You know, I mean, I give Cambosos this. He fought the better fighters around his weight class. He fought T.O. He fought Devin twice. He fought Loma, and he just fought Hitchins. So I ain't mad at him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't give a shit if he retires or not. And from my perspective, I was about to say I think I dislike Terence Crawford more than Teofimo Lopez. I think I was about to say I dislike Terence Crawford more than any fighter that ever lived. but you know what? I thought about it, and I caught myself because I don't dislike Terence Crawford. Well, actually, I do, because I think there's certain personality traits that he demonstrates that are fake. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't have a deep-rooted dislike for Terence Crawford. My dislike for him is very marginal. You know, it's just one aspect of his personality. There's some other things I've seen from Crawford that I'm like, okay, I like that. That reminds me of me. It's my hatred for his fans that really sets me in the direction that I go. So I can't. So I think T.O. might be one of the more disliked fighters that I can't stand either. I don't have a problem with. I don't think either one of those guys are racist. It's just my personal opinion. I think they were doing something stupid. But you know, I could be wrong about that shit. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and move to the next topic. But before I do, we got 71 people in the building, but only 24 likes. Let's make sure that we smash the like button. And then I just want to see who's in the building. Somebody got mad with me on the live stream because I did not acknowledge them. It was just me on, and I had to actually run the show and not just read the chat. So he got a little pissed. But we got, I think I already recognized Chi. We got Kale in the building. We got Here for Boxing, my dog in the building. The Boxosaurus is in the building. Alex and Gaspard. That's the first time I've seen you, my brother, but welcome. Let's see. Anybody else? Red Hood Projects, Brooklyn, New York's in the building. NHA Tubes in the building. Yeah, that's all I see so far. Ton of Vision hit us with the $5. So it's cool for Devin to fight tank opponents at a catch weight and versus champions coming up in weight. After all, that ish talking. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah. But Devin is not going to fight someone like a Boots or anything like that at 147.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be good for him. Wouldn't be good for him right now.
Pork Chops in the building too. I forgot to say Pork Chop. That's ASVP TV. All right, here's the second topic that I got for us, Jay. And you and I talked about how this impacted me earlier today. So give me a second as I explode on some of these folks, if they get the opportunity to see this. So I did a video earlier today about Gervonta Davis, and we're going to talk about this. But the topic of the video, if you haven't seen it yet, guys, in the chat, was about a post that Gervonta Davis put up talking about the struggles, and you know, now he has to show people who, you know, I can't even remember how it was. I am who I say I am, something to that effect. And I talked about the fact that it showed some doubt in Gervonta Davis's psyche as it relates to the performance that he had with Lamont Roach. $1.99 from Pork Chop Tail Mill is safe to come back to 154. Man, this is going to tie into a topic that I have here. So anyway, so drop that video, and you know, again, I talked about him being human and that being something natural and how that could actually affect you in a positive way. I saw somebody in the comment section tell me something to the effect of, this is the reason why he will never come on your platform, and this is the reason why his coach will never come back to your platform, because I made that video. So here's my issue, and this is not just with Gervonta Davis fans, this is with fight fans in general. Y'all looking for meat eating channels. Y'all looking for somebody that meat eats no matter what. I can't question Gervonta Davis. I can't say anything. That's that new school young boy shit. That's that you can't say anything about me because my feelings hurt. I don't get down like that, dude. Like I say whatever I think. Yeah, I say whatever I think, and I'm not sensitive. And so real sensitive ass people I don't get along with well. Jay, you couldn't be on this channel if you were sensitive. You get tired of me. And the way that we talk about each other like a dog, and I mean just like a dog, you can't be sensitive around us. Okay,
I don't. If y'all heard some of the shit me and Greg go at each other, y'all think we hate each other.
No, exactly. I can't be around sensitive people, and some of these boxers are super sensitive. Some of these fans are super sensitive. These fans want you to meat eat, and more meat eat. Like some of the gentlemen that I see in our Discord, they will remain nameless. They got the acronym ASVP. I say that, or somebody else that frequents the Discord rhymes with Febreze. Fabrizio, if you will. You can gather from that what you will. But man, I'm not into all that. I'm not into that. Like most of the stuff that we say, on this channel has been fairly. I mean, got to be 95, 98% favorable. What's wrong with questioning a statement and bringing clarity and having a conversation around a statement that Gervonta Davis made himself? I didn't force him to make that. He made it himself. And so after you put it out there, you should be media savvy enough to understand that it's going to be interpreted. And I didn't even interpret it in a negative way. I interpreted it as a little bit of self-doubt, human traits. We all have that, and how it could actually benefit him in the Roach fight. Yet this gentleman had the nerves to come on there and say these people won't come on, and maybe they won't. Maybe that's why I haven't had Coach Kenny back on. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's seen something, and he felt like it wasn't 100% in line with their thinking. And that's. But man, I tell you, if my affiliation with you has to be because I agree with everything that you say, then I don't want to be affiliated with you.
Yeah, can't be no echo chamber.
No, I don't want to be affiliated. So yeah. Sometimes we have to say something that is critical about a fighter. And I didn't even think that was all that critical. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy to me, man. But anyway, I'm going to pass it over to you, and then I'll come back to the topic and really dive into what it was that, I got out of the comment. But what are your thoughts on it?
Like I told you, man, I found it funny just reading the headline. You thinking we dissing Tank or anyone like that? It's not a diss. It's a legit question. It's a topic piece. It's a legitimate topic because we want to see how he's going to be after that fight. Now, truth be told, as soon as we heard about him fighting Roach, we said that was going to be a tough fight from the get-go. We said that last year because they're supposed to fight last fall. So, I mean, and Tank even said, pretty much said like, hey, it's all on me. I appreciate him taking accountability for that at the post-fight presser, on that, and he's running it back. We're running it back. Cool. So I mean, I don't got no problem with Tank. I don't got a problem with any really. Only a couple boxes, 2 boxes. Let me take it. We already said that. T.O. and Ryan, those are 2 that. Yeah,
I don't have no problem with no boxes. I don't really care about none of that stuff. None of it's personal for me. I don't take anything that they say to heart on social media. I don't really give a shit. So that none of that stuff really bothers me. Like, I don't have no personal feelings towards no fighters like that, man. I just
I
don't.
just don't understand. I can respect them in the game as far as how good of a fighter they are, because I give T.O. credit for being a good boxer. Same thing. Ryan got a hell of a left. I give him that. You know, not much else, which was displayed by Rolly on that. God dang, boxing sword. Greg must have been really thirsty.
No, it wasn't that. This smoothie is called a Slim Meal something, and it has like 190 calories in it or something like that. And
You
it
try to
is
lose weight.
freaking. It is a dog. First and foremost, man, don't come on here talking to me about what I'm trying to do. Okay, God,
You got a petite smoothie. That's what you got. You got a petite smoothie.
bro, I choked the shit out you.
Slim fast.
Okay,
Slim
it just,
fast. That's what you
it
got.
just, it's
Petite
just
smoothie.
good, man. Hey, man, don't get mad at me because I like to keep my physique.
Keep it. What you mean keep it? You gotta get it.
Man, you can go, you can go kill yourself. You can go kill yourself. I'm on the right path. I'm back benching 185 again with my workout weight. I'm on the right path. I ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. You over here with negativity. I don't need all that negative shit.
Man, whatever.
You got anything else to say about this whole situation with Tank Davis?
Nah. People just looking at a title and not actually listen to what you said. But that's standard. That's standard.
Either they didn't listen to what I said or didn't understand what I was saying. And again, if somebody got a problem, if it's a fighter or if it's a trainer or if it's anybody in the sport, if the expectation is I gotta meat eat, nah, man, I'm good, dog. I don't meat eat for nobody, bro. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and that's it. Period. Now, I think it's a human trait to have a little bit of doubt when something like that happens. But I think Tank is going to bounce back, and I think he's going to use that as motivation, Jay, to help support the training. Looks like he may have gone back in the direction of Calvin Ford, which I think is a great idea. But I've always used stuff like that, man. Self-doubt for me has always been fuel. Cause if all of a sudden I'm like, man, maybe I'm not what I say I am, then I need to get back in the lab and really work on my skills to make sure I close whatever gap I have. So, for me, I like thinking about it that way. I like if he's thinking about it that way. That shows me he's human, and that shows me he has a reaction to it, and that means that he's gonna move towards making sure that there's a different result. So for me, I like it. But again, you won't find that out until you actually go up in the video and listen instead of reading the titles and believing that the titles will tell you what we're talking about in a video. It doesn't. Man, I can bitch 225 right now. I'm working my way. Hey, Rick, I'm working my way back up because I just a year ago I had rotator cuff surgery and bicep tendon surgery a year or so ago. So it took a while to get the shoulder back, but now I'm strong enough to choke the shit out of Jason.
Yeah, you would never strong enough to choke the shit out of me, and you never will.
Man, please. All I gotta do is run up behind you when you're not looking. Once my arm around your neck, it's night time.
That weak ass shoulder of yours.
Oh no, this shoulder back strong now, boy. Yeah. Anyway,
Took
let's
this
keep.
8 months to do this.
Man, fuck you. Have you ever had a surgery? I had two rotator cuff muscles torn and a bicep tendon torn. So fuck what you talking about. Yeah, all right. Boy, I hope it rained tonight and them badass knees hurt like a motherfucker. Anyway,
He's good, bro. And I had surgeries on both my knees. They're good.
They may function. They ain't good.
They good. They better than your bum ass shoulder.
No, they're not.
You got your damn mind.
I could go put 225 on the rack right now. Can you go run 4 miles?
Yeah, I just ran a mile and a half a day. What the hell are you talking about?
I said 4 miles, and I'm talking about on that pure concrete.
That's what I. Well, you want
No,
to make me
you
say
can't.
something to you just now.
You can't, motherfucker. You can't, motherfucker. You can't. Anyway, all right, let's
Shut up,
move
bro.
on.
You just started doing push-up last month.
I'm doing it. Hey, man, we got 73 people in the building with only 36 likes. Make sure you smash the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure that you are engaging. And if you're new to the channel, this is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing-related content, so make sure that you check us out. Become a subscriber and smash the like button. Jay, what other topics do we want to capture, man, before we open up this phone line for people to come in and tell us what they think?
Yeah, I saw someone say something about the Keyshawn since we were off. I guess we missed that whole Keyshawn fiasco doing a live on that.
I mean, do you guys want to hear our opinion on this Keyshawn situation? Because, yeah, you're right. We hadn't gotten to all the Keyshawn stuff. I do have a section on here, though, about Keyshawn, so we can talk about that. Saw somebody just mention Boots moving up, too. We could talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like both of those. And then hey, we know Brian Norman got to fight this coming week. He fighting Thursday morning. So
Yeah, I mean, we can go wherever you want to go, man. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines, though.
yeah, open it up. Let's start with first out with Boots moving up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Possibly 154. I like it. I mean, it's gonna be interesting who he fights. I saw Bakram talking about he has September 13th. That's a Crawford Canelo card. I don't know if Boots will be on that, but I know Bose and them were talking about, and Eddie were talking about him come back next in August, possibly September. I don't know boxing, so I don't know if you got more intel on that side or not. You more than welcome to share for sure. But it's a lot. That's a lot of fire at 154. We know Fundora and Tim Zhu about to fight. We know Mel is supposed to be coming back there. Bakram's there. We know Erickson Lubin, he had a good win about a month and a half ago or so. He's supposed to be in line to try to fight Bakram as well. So see where he's at. So it's a lot of good fights over there for Boots. We know Virgil's coming back off the injury. He's supposed to be coming back. I think they said maybe September or so. So it's a lot going on at 154. A lot of smoke that happen over there. So I think that's going to be nice there. 147, Boots' main person would have been Brian Norman for me. That's one I really want to see him fight, but supposedly, he's big for the weight, which we all knew Boots was heavy, was a big guy, shrinking down to 147. 154 might put him better anyway. And there's a lot of smoke there.
Yeah, from my perspective, I would have liked to have seen Boots unify at 147 just because he makes so much noise about that. But moving up to 154 pounds, I mean, Boots looks massive for 147. And so if he's having challenges with making the weight, then it does make sense to me for him to go ahead and make that move. I kind of wish that he hadn't gotten on the vendetta or the whole I need to become undisputed at 147. He had been at the weight class for a while. And instead go after Crawford. Because, I mean, damn. So to me, based off what I remember before, and maybe I'm wrong, but part of the reason why he didn't want to move up and face Crawford when Al-Ashik was calling for it was because, hey, he still had unfinished business at 147. So now that Crawford's gone from 54, you're moving up to 54. I don't like it. Because, I wanted to see you do your thing at 47 and defended that position. So, it is what it is. But I think it's the right move for him to move up to 154 pounds. I think it's probably necessary. And there's so many options for him at 54. Somebody like Bakram makes a lot of sense. You get his feet wet first before he goes out there and goes after big dogs. And then you got folks like
up there. Bakram's the champion.
Yeah, I get it, but Bakram, hold on, no. Boychuk. I'm sorry. I'm confusing Boychuk and Bakram. Sorry.
You talking about
Yeah,
Boychuk?
I'm talking about Boychuk.
Good. But Boychuk got a rematch supposedly fighting with Virgil.
Yeah, that would be a good fight for him. And then step into the 154 ranks, and then you got Bakram, you got Virgil Ortiz, you got Jermell Charlo, you got Madrimov. So, and some other players there as well, Erickson Lubin, those types of guys. So, man. Yeah, Jesus Ramos. So it would be pretty good for him. So I'm curious to see when that move take place and who he ends up in the ring with next, and maybe he can become undisputed at 54. But again, I would have if you're not going to go after Crawford at 54, which I thought was an option for him.
AM Sports Media, Tim Bradley, Desert Storm in the building.
It definitely needs to be that.
In the conference.
So somebody that already called in. Let me see who I got here.
They talked about Boots maybe with the young
Please
gentleman that
announce
just
yourself.
fought, J-Rock.
Yeah. So we got Walt in the building. Walt, what's going on with your family?
Well, what's happening,
going on, fellas? Yo, Greg, man, I'm about to be 63, and you sound like you older than me.
How?
Talking about your shoulder. You can't do push-ups.
No, that was him saying that. I could do push-ups. That was him saying that.
Okay. I just
he can do it on his knees or the wall. That's how you do push-ups.
Man, shut your ass up. Anyway.
But it's good hearing y'all, brothers. But I be honest with you, I want to see Devin Haney against Hitchins because the size. Because I want to see how Devin does with guys his size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I think that's an even fight. I think they both really skilled fighters. I just want to see how Devin can fight against dudes that can hit him at distance, because he's dominant against smaller guys. Great. But my thing, I seen one of the funniest things I've seen on YouTube, and probably since I've been watching it on BFTV on the picture on his podcast, he had a picture of Devin Haney with a flannel shirt on, and it said Devin Debo Haney. There's no part of Devin Haney that should be never even. The name Debo should be nowhere near his name. He's a really skilled fighter. If you wanted to call him Devin Stick and Move Haney, that would have been cool. But Debo, come on now.
Is you said BFTB? Is that's the dude?
Yeah,
that
he had
BFTB
huge. Had a Devin Debo Haney, like Debo from Friday.
Yeah, he the
Debo
dude that
from Friday's a killer. Devin Haney's a really skilled boxer. Great, one of the best boxers in boxing. I give him that, but Debo and him have no. There should be no even comparison between them two.
No, I agree. So he's BFTB is the dude that's like the Devin Haney, like real.
I think he's got to be getting paid by them because people before the Richardson fight, I was flipping around because I always like to when I'm watching a fight, I hate listening to especially Mannix and them racist dudes on there. I like to listen to y'all, whoever's having a podcast. So I was flipping around a podcast last night, and BF, when the fight started, he was like, "Oh, ain't no way Richard Hitchinson's gonna stop Kambosos. He might scrape by with a win, 7-5, maybe 8-4." And then when I went back to it after Hitchinson stopped him, then he's cussing out people saying, "Oh, and all this stuff like he ain't standing on business, man." And it's just like, and I usually BF's cool, but some of the Haney thing is just over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm dude. I ain't gonna lie. The Boots thing, it's like y'all was saying. If you look at his face before the last couple fights, you seen all the bones. Like the beard hides it a little, but you could tell he was too big for the weight class. Now, so if Haney's at 147 and he's supposed to be the man, then you need to call out the man at 147 now. And that man is fighting Saturday. Was it Thursday? So now at 147. I don't see anybody beating Brian Norman Jr. because it's like, to me, the only dude I thought had a chance could beat him there was Boots, and Boots is gone now. So I'm at 147. I'm 100% Brian Norman right now. So after he handles this business this week, I want to see Devin call him because I see Devin saying everybody else's name, Barrios and all them dudes. I want to see him fight against a dude who can cut off the ring and can knock you out with either hand. If you're the man, then that should be the first move you make. If you're saying you're the best, like his father says, then that's the guy. You go beat the best. And if they like to do BF's always saying the best like the best, If he thinks Devin's that dude, then that's the dude he needs to be seeing. It should be the first call they make. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I to be honest with you, I think Hitchins beats Devin Haney. Because until I see Devin Haney standing there against a guy, you know, and trade, because that last fight was embarrassing, man. They're running around the apron, you know. But
yeah, I don't disagree.
I'm looking forward to Tank and Roach to see what happens with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Tank got, you know, is back with Calvin and them. You know, and who else? What Bob Arum said that Monster Inoue is the best fighter in the history of the sport. Did y'all see that?
I did not. He says Inoue is.
Yeah. He said Monster. Man, he's doing the same thing he did with. Remember how he said Loman was better than Floyd and all them before? Now he said the other day, I know he's about 100, but he said that Monster Inoue is the best fighter in the history of the sport. Like, how can you even say that? Like, I know he's old, but the people around him, man, like, come on.
Didn't he say that shit about Loma as well at one point?
Yeah, he said, before he said Loma was, now he's saying that Monster Inoue is. I know they're his fighters, but you can't put all that gas, man, when people know that, man. It's like we've seen brothers get knocked down in a fight, and the first thing they'll say is exposed, but Inoue gets knocked down in the fight, and oh, what grit. He just shows everything when he gets up. It's like some of this stuff is almost like comedy, man. You know? But
yeah, I mean those are all fair statements. I've noticed that too, man. But I just keep it pushing, man.
And you guys, like, y'all watched that fight last night. Did y'all hear how the whole fight they're bigging up Kambosos the whole fight like he's a killer? You know what I'm saying? It's like to listen to Mannix and them dudes. I don't understand. Mannix and them bring up all kind of stuff, but you never hear them speak on T.O.'s racist stuff, or you never hear him speak on Ryan's racist stuff. It's like, to me, I can't even watch boxing and listen to the commentating because Tim Bradley be on, you know, and then these dudes are worse than Bradley, you know. So I try to watch the fight and listen to the people podcasts, and it's like. But so I just wanted to ask y'all another thing too, real quick. What do y'all think about them going to 18-18 on the ring?
Say that one more time.
You see how they're gonna the Crawford fight and the Shakur fight, the rings are gonna be 18-18.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean,
what's the normal parameters of the ring?
They're a little bigger than that, but it makes it for where you gonna have to fight more. Crawford's like they're taking for this fight. They're taking away a lot of Crawford's in, especially in Shakur's. Crawford don't run as much as Shakur, but they're taking a lot away of Shakur's movement. You know?
Yes. Come on, Turkey, go.
And to be honest with you, I think Shakur's going to be able to handle that again. I think it's going to be tougher for Crawford. I think Shakur's going to be able to handle that no problem against Zepeda, because Zepeda's just. He doesn't have any defense. It's just all come forward. And the Shakur can sidestep that. Because Tevin Farmer was sidestepping and hitting him at will, and Shakur's better than Tevin Farmer. I think Crawford's going to have a tougher time with that. Canelo's going to be dirty. And Zepeda's really not dirty like Canelo. If Crawford moves, Canelo's going to fight dirty. But I'm going to sit back and listen, man.
All right. Appreciate it, Walt.
All right, brother.
Yeah, later. No, I did not know that. See, I remember when they first. I didn't know the ring size. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. I told you that. You just don't. You just don't read.
You sent that to me?
Yeah, motherfucker, I sent it to you.
I didn't see it.
Damn, got glasses on. Got 3 pair of glasses. Can't see shit.
Yeah.
I tell you.
But anyway,
with Turkey talking about I don't want this Tom and Jerry stuff. You putting on Tom and Jerry promotions. You talking about doing it in Alcatraz. You did one last year, had 18 concerts at the same time. You had one in New York that the fighters couldn't stand because it had no audience there. You're the one that's promoting the Tom and Jerry stuff. Yeah, it was a bad look. That whole weekend was a bad look of fight, bad batch of fighting, honestly. Devin had his worst performance. He won. But he looked like he almost lost basically the way he played, the way he fought. It wasn't a good fight. Skull, he didn't look good in that fight. But also, it's also on the other fight, the opponent that cut off the ring. You got to know how to cut it off the ring as well at the same time. So the 18-by-18, is what it is. I don't like people talking about, oh, no run rule. No, I like the sweet science. Hit, don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? People mistake that as running at times. What Devin did against Ramirez, he was more or less running in that. That wasn't boxing fully for me. But 18-by-18, we'll see what it does. To Walt's point, Zepeda ain't dirty like that. Also, Zepeda struggled against Farmer. I arguably lost the first fight against Farmer. He definitely beat Farmer the second time. But the first time, he arguably lost that fight. Got dropped by Farmer. So I see Shakur should be able to handle that. Whether it's 18-by-18 or 20-by-20, don't matter.
Tunnel Vision hit it with the $5. Turkey got these fighters and promoters besides PBC acting like abused housewives who have no way to leave and just deal with his disrespect.
Facts.
Oh, wow. That's tough. I remember when they first started talking about this fight happening, I remember saying if I was Canelo, I would put a stipulation in the fight, in the contract, that you have to on the day of the fight, you have to weigh in at 168. And the reason why I would want that is because I want Crawford to come in as heavy as possible, because I want him to struggle when he's in the ring with movement. This is another thing that I would do if it were me. I would have put 18-by-18 ring in there. That makes sense. I'm the champ. I'm the face. I'm getting 3 times what Terence Crawford getting. But that's right. Crawford only getting 10 million, so Canelo only getting 30. Sure. But I would create these advantages for myself, man. I have when you're the A side, that's what you do, and that's been around since the beginning of time. So Terence Crawford, this shouldn't be any type of surprise to him that he's not going to get things his way in this fight. He's not going to get anything his way in this fight, not a damn thing. So he will come in at a natural disadvantage against Canelo Alvarez. And let's just hope that there's enough of a disadvantage there that allows Canelo Alvarez to put him squarely in the dirt. So those are my thoughts on that. Phone lines are open, man. Phone lines are open. We got 73 people in the building, but only 44 likes. We need you to smash the like button. Smash that like button so other people can find the content. Smash it. Dwayne T said, Greg be hating. No, man, there ain't no hate, brother. I just had a conversation around this. Terence Crawford, I do not hate Terence Crawford, the person. I do not hate him. I just hate, I can't stand his fans. I cannot stand his fans. That's all. That's it, brothers. I just can't stand his fans. Here's the number right here. I forgot I hadn't posted the number because usually a lot of people who call in already know the number. The number's pinned to the top too. So that's the call-in number right there.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that the optics, because of 2 fights that really had people moving around, was Devin and Ramirez, and then Skull, how you pronounce his name, and Canelo. Those were only 2 fights that the peak guys were actually moving around the ring a lot. It's also on the opponent to be able to cut the ring off. Everyone's not going to have knockout power, so they're going to outbox you. If you try and tell them make it rock 'em, sock 'em, go to bare knuckle.
We got the boxing source. Yeah, we got the boxing source in the building. And we got 318 in the building. What's going on with y'all?
Man, chilling, fan. What's going on? AM Sports Media in the building, man. What's happening?
Yeah, we just chilling, man. We talking about Terence Crawford and how we want to see him placed squarely and firmly in the dirt and boots moving up. What?
Come on, man.
We know who you're talking about. We ain't got to guess.
Oh, man.
ASVP in the building.
So bad.
Yeah.
What happened now?
Like, why you want Crawford to lose so bad, yo?
Man, I hate his fans, bro. Like, he got one on the call right now, ASVP TV. I hate his fans, dude. Like, I had to change my mind. I was gonna support Crawford, but then they started coming up with ridiculous statements that Canelo can't win for nothing in the world. Like Canelo is a bum and all this other stuff. And then I just got back to hating him. And now I still hate him. 313. What's in the building, baby?
He making stuff up.
What's up?
Who making stuff up? What's going on with you, Corey?
Courtney. It's Courtney. What's up, Greg? You remember me, man? We go
I thought.
Messing up people's names all the time.
No, it doesn't. It says Corey here, not Courtney.
Okay.
But yeah, no worries, man. Now, what do you say we go back and forth on?
But of course, we be having good conversations every time I call in, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. We got more Terence Crawford fans that call into this show than any other, and they say we hate him. Somehow I don't understand it.
But you just said something very disturbing to me by when you said that you don't like Bud because of his fans, man. That sounds crazy.
No. That's not what I said. I said I want him to go in the dirt because I don't like his fans.
Okay,
That's
so
we be
right there. You want him to lose because of his fans.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Make it make sense, bro. Listen, why don't you be honest right now and say you don't like Bud because he put Doughboy in the dirt?
No, that's not the reason.
Yeah, tell the truth, man.
Listen. Can you give me the floor real quick to respond to that?
Yes, sir.
Anybody that knows me knows that I don't give a shit. I laugh at my own team. I laugh at myself. So I have no allegiance to nobody to the extent that I would hate someone else. So if you believe that I just have this tie, we were just talking about meat eaters. I'm not one. I don't have an allegiance. No, listen to what I'm saying. Hold on.
We gotta retire that word though.
That's what the young folks say. But I don't have no allegiance to someone to the extent that I would dislike someone else. So that has absolutely nothing to do with it. After the fight, I was like, I was one of the people that was defending Terence Crawford with some of this whole, BS around. I'm not going to even go there. But my point was, after the fight, I was also saying, hey, I would like to say I support Terence Crawford. But man, when you start making any kind of counter argument to a fellatio lover, such as some of these fans that are out here, then it becomes an issue, right? There's like you hate, and this generation is so sensitive, and people who live through fighters, they're so sensitive to anything. So as I began to say, no, Canelo does have a chance in this fight for sure. And then hearing the vitriol, and I'm the hater, and I'm this, and I'm that. And I was just like, fuck the Crawford fans. I want to see those bitches cry. That's it.
That ain't no vitriol from you picking Canelo. That's fine and dandy. We just want you to remember what you said after the fact.
Because it's similar to your boy Earl Spence. Because let's be honest, you that was your guy, right? Earl,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was man, right? That was your man's. You knew that Earl was going to beat Bud, didn't you? Tell the truth.
Hold on. Say that last part one more time.
Okay. You could rewind the tape, man, and you knew for a fact that Earl was going to beat Bud. You stood on it.
No. But I had it 51-49.
But it didn't go that way, did it? It didn't go 50.
No, it didn't.
It was way worse. It was terrible. It was like, come on.
It was
okay.
Like 95-5.
What you call it? What you call it? A one-sided ass whipping, right?
Oh yeah, with the belt.
2 years ago, y'all still celebrating that shit.
Similar, and then
this is the fucking hold on. I'm gonna get it right back to you. But this right here, this is the reason why I want to see you bitches cry. That right there. He put a one-sided ass with me. That's the very reason why I want to see you bitches cry.
We gotta move on from Spence, man.
Then why you keep talking about it? You keep talking about we need to move on, but then you keep talking shit about it. I want to see you motherfuckers going in the dirt with your boy. That's what I want to see.
Okay, listen to this. Before Bud Crawford fought Earl Spence, you didn't have that hatred for Bud. I ain't hear you talking all that Bud hate before then. What did you? I mean,
I would. ASVP TV. Do you believe that? Tell the truth.
I just want to know.
I mean, you was pushing the whole narrative that he was tying his name to Spence. So
No, that's true. That's
I feel
100%
like you
true.
did feel some type
That's
of way about him.
that's 100% true.
Okay, but that's when they was talking about. But we knew that they was about because they went for about a year with them trying to make the fight, and it didn't happen. I'm
Still
speaking
Bud
on
backdoored it.
before he was fighting. Said him and Earl was gonna fight. You ain't had no problem with Bud, man. You ain't had no problem with Bud until Bud put my man in the dirt.
No, that's false.
Nah,
No, that's false. Anybody that follows this channel knows that's not right.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so when did it start? When did the fans started making you feel the way that you feel now that you want to see the brother in the dirt?
No, those are two different statements. Those are two different questions. You're talking about when did I feel like that about the fans versus me having a level of vitriol prior to the fight with Terence Crawford. Both those two things are two separate questions. I had the vitriol for Terence Crawford all the way back to when he re-signed with Bob Arum. And I'm like, why are you re-signing with Bob Arum? You running your mouth about you want all these PBC fighters, but you're running back over there just for guaranteed money because you can't sell. That was the first time I started feeling the like, I don't really like this guy that much. He doesn't want to bet on himself at all and earn the money. He wants somebody to give him money that he didn't deserve. That was the first time. We didn't even have a fucking channel at that time. So no, my vitriol for Terence Crawford started well before we even had a channel. Now, when did I first started feeling the way that I feel about the fans?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
To that first point.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case now, was it? Because the fight got made when he called Arum. That wasn't the case. He wasn't asking for no ridiculous amount of money or nothing crazy.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. That doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm
just saying. I'm just arguing your point.
But no, hold on.
Greg saying that Greg was trying to say, which I understand. He said that he was upset at Bud when he stayed with Top Rank. It didn't go to PBC because they had all the middleweights at the time.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about Errol. It wasn't just about Errol.
So it's tribalism. Okay, I got you.
No, I don't have nothing to do with no. It has nothing to do with no damn tribalism. It has to do with the fact that all the guys that he wanted to fight, that he was calling out, were on that side, were with that individual. He went back to a contract, to a slave contract that would allow him to earn this palsily $3 million that he know he couldn't generate himself. So my issue was that he didn't bet on himself. Don't call this no tribalism. It has nothing to do with that. That was my first stance. That was my first stance.
Hey, Greg.
Go ahead.
Wasn't Bud trying to get the Pacquiao fight though? I thought that's why he stayed with Top Rank.
Man, he knew he wasn't getting no damn Pacquiao fight. He knew he wasn't getting no Pacquiao fight.
I think that was way before. That was before Sean Porter fight when they was talking about the Pacquiao stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, that's my rationale. Now, again, when the fight was over, I was fine with Crawford. I gave him his props. I told him he was a great fighter. But every fucking videos about freaking Devin Haney, Bud. Video about Gervonta, Bud. Where your boy? And then we let that shit go. Hold on. Jay, am I lying?
That's facts. That's absolutely facts.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish.
We look at it right now.
No, let me finish.
Oh,
Then we move on to, okay, they start talking about Canelo Alvarez. Hey man, I support Bud. I'm gonna be for the black man, the tribalism, so you say. But then you start having ninjas like you break my tribalism as you are continuously coming up with ridiculous statements as though Canelo is a bum, he has no chance, and da-da-da-da-da. And if you say, well, Canelo's going to be the bigger fighter, you start talking about measurables and all that dumb shit, and then I was fucking done. I'm like, I need to see this ninja go into the dirt. That's what I need to see. I need to see all these bitches come on this platform and cry. That's what I need for them to do.
Greg.
Just so we could get back at all the fans that were talking about ha Spence.
Well, real quick, I gotta say something real quick. Hey, Greg,
go ahead.
I kind of disagree with you real quick, man, on one thing is that when the Canelo, before this fight was made with Bud and Canelo, even when Bud first started talking about it, man, ain't nobody think Bud was gonna beat him. wasn't nobody saying that Bud about to beat Canelo all the way up to
Bullshit.
today. Right now.
Bullshit.
Right now, it's majority people, even our race, believe that Canelo is gonna beat Bud. You know, a lot of people believe that all the 3 weight classes going up and all that. You know, it ain't like a huge amount of people that's believing that actually Bud gonna beat Canelo, man. You know, so
Ask Pork Chop that.
I don't know, man. Hey, they ain't at the books. They ain't at the sports books, though. You look at that, man. That thing is mad close. Yo.
Oh yeah, it's damn
it's changing dramatically as the days go on. Bud turning them to believers, you know, as time.
No, that poor performance by Canelo did.
Hey, I'll say this right now though. If you a betting man and you got Canelo winning, now's the time to put your money on it, man. Because the odds ain't gonna get no better than that.
Right.
Yeah, they aren't.
That's facts.
That makes a lot of sense. Let me go put my money down on Canelo for a nice burial on September 13th.
Because the brother man, right? The odds gonna get more and more towards Crawford. It's gonna tighten up more and more. So,
you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? Because the thought of seeing Crawford get knocked out by Canelo just makes my skin crawl. Like I actually don't want to see the visual of it, but I know the damage that the visual of Terence Crawford getting knocked out by Canelo, that damage will be quickly subsided by the joy and knowing that all you bitches got to come tomorrow and feel my wrath. And
they gonna call in. They gonna call in. They
gonna call. If they don't call, I'm gonna call their ass because I done wrote down all their numbers. I got all your numbers. So if you see
they
me
gonna be missing.
in, you coming in, damn it.
I got all your.
He said, I'm gonna put cases on all you bitches.
All of you. All of you.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that got me motivated.
Greg, you do understand who Bud is to our generation, right? You know who he is to us, right? When
he ain't shit to me. He ain't shit to me. Maybe your generation, he ain't shit to me.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I mean, well, you in the Matrix. You ain't in this real world. Reality is, Bud is that guy.
That's y'all Mayweather. That's y'all Mayweather.
Everything you wishing on, you've never seen. You ain't never seen him knocked out. All that shit you just said you wish happened to him. You ain't never ever seen nothing like that.
I ain't seen nothing like that, and that's the reason. But bro, that's the reason. That's the reason why I said. Yeah, that's the reason why I said that for me, it's the thought of seeing him get stretched by Canelo is not one of that I would take pleasure in. I wouldn't, because I know
that's called wishful thinking.
It's called bittersweet.
Wishful thinking.
Hey, yeah, that's called you're right. That's called bittersweet.
Yeah,
okay, you know what? Okay, see, it's responses like that. It's responses like that now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will get some pleasure seeing him stretched out on his back. Those types of comments right there.
Canelo gonna get knocked out. Buffett's talking Canelo's gonna get knocked out, get stopped over and over again. Like Canelo's been beat down like that. He's never been stopped.
God, you ain't never
or
seen
dropped
it before. You know, it ain't realistic, man. For you to say that you gonna see that, but look, the odds is against Bud so heavy with Canelo that a lot of guys do believe that. It's just sad that you one of them, man. You know, and the same
That's
thing.
A black man hating on another black man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. But history's gonna repeat itself.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Same feeling you had after Bud whooped on Earl. Same feeling. It's gonna happen again to him. That gut, and that feeling gonna be like, damn, my man really was that guy. You know, hey, you don't want to see nobody whoop. You don't want to see nobody.
Canelo is Lord.
Like that. It seemed like you would want to see somebody holler at Canelo.
Oh yeah, I do. The ideal situation would be for Canelo to knock out Crawford and then his very next fight get knocked out.
All right, so after Canelo chased the shit out of Charlo all around that ring, you wasn't thinking like, damn, man, it got to be somebody, a brother going there to go holler at him. After that fight,
Oh, I already seen him get hollered at.
Huh?
I already seen him get hollered at. I know he can't beat like a Mayweather. No version of Canelo can beat Mayweather.
Come on, man.
So
We know. I dig that. You know, that's another generational talent like Bud. You know, Bud is a generational talent, just like Mayweather. Just a little.
What he said is the Terence Crawford era.
Period. It's Bud.
hey, the boxing source.
Hey,
Do you believe that?
That's gonna be stamped after this win.
Do you believe that, boxing source? I had a dream about the Terence Crawford era, and I woke up and I was like, damn, Canelo kicked his ass. So anyway, the boxing source. Do you believe that Terence Crawford is a generational talent, and that this is the Terence Crawford era?
It certainly can be if he gets this win over Santoso Alvarez.
Do you believe? No. You're not answering my question. Do you believe that today?
Right now, that is his era. I mean, yeah, you can say he's a top pound for pound fighter right now, right?
Period.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period.
So, and he's basically, been that way for about a while now. So, why can't you say that it's his era right now at this current juncture?
So, if he gets put in the dirt by Canelo, will it still be his era?
No.
Okay.
But
He said
sorry to break this to you, Greg. Sorry to break this to you, Greg, but I got Crawford winning.
Oh man, it's no. I have no problem with anybody having whoever they want to have win, man. I hope. Hey man, hold on. Is this?
It's more like everybody, not anybody. It's more like everybody.
Yo, I think I know.
But beating Canelo before Canelo's performance against Skull.
What's that?
Did you have Bud beating Canelo before Canelo's latest performance against Skull?
No, I had Bud pretty much around I would say around February of this year, because I felt like Bud Crawford is somebody that wants to prove people wrong and is determined to do so. So if you say that he can't, he gonna be like, no, fuck y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna show y'all how great I am. That's what he pretty much did.
Bud got to you when you met up with him about a week ago then. That's what you're saying. Bud pressed you about a week ago like he pressed Tio. He got you on his side.
I don't think
the
fight really changed anybody's opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because the thing with Canelo is that he's had this history his past few fights of basically getting through 12 rounds against these opponents that shouldn't really be in the ring with them.
Yeah, and
like
when
the Edgar Belangas,
Canelo knock out somebody. You think he gonna knock out?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, real quick, y'all. Real quick.
The last topic she had was against Caleb Plant in 2021.
Hey, real quick.
Bud gonna stop Canelo.
Real quick, man. We got somebody else in the building. I believe it's YSM, but I'm not sure.
What's good, Joe?
What's good, man?
Oh man, I'm
chilling,
man. JR, what up? What's good?
I got a quick question for y'all, Greg, and Jay, and YSM. Why do y'all think Turkey really made the ring smaller? Who did he do it for? Was it because
that whole weekend?
Was it because of Terence? Was it because of Devin?
I personally think it's a combination thereof. I think I don't think that event was something that was successful for him. I think not only from a financial standpoint, but a visual standpoint, I just don't think it was appealing to most fight fans. And so I think that's part of the reason. And then I think to help prevent something similar happening in the Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez fight, he's implementing that rule now moving forward. So I think it's a combination thereof.
Okay, so really,
that whole weekend was just terrible. That whole weekend probably just swayed his opinion.
Terrible.
That weekend.
It wasn't necessarily about the ring size, though. It's like he has to take accountability because he's making fights. He's making 2 and 3 fights ahead of time, and these are 2 and 3 more lucrative fights than the fight that they're in. So a lot of times, dudes is just going to do the bare minimum not to take the risk, but so that they can secure the higher payday.
Right.
Because Ryan didn't move, and Ryan threw the least amount of punches the night. and landed the least amount of punches tonight. They ain't had nothing to do with Tom and Gary are running.
Right.
He stood there and didn't throw shit. So,
Well,
Now,
hey,
if we be fair though, Turkey can't control. He can make the fights. He can't control how the fight's gonna go. And I think this just an attempt from him to like try to put his own touch, try to make it competitive.
It's like a knee-jerk reaction.
Not relying.
He don't know what the hell he doing.
I would agree
it's
with that.
It's selective politicking. That's what it is. It's bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you because go back to when Boots fought Kieran the first time. Man, oh my God, they gave my man the blues. Said how Boots couldn't cut off the ring. Man, they gave Kieran props, and all he did was run the whole fight. I'm talking about literally on his bike the whole fight. And they gave Boots the blues because they said he couldn't cut off the ring. So now, if you go back and up to date and look at it, they not doing the same thing. But to say Canelo, why you ain't cut off the ring with Skull? You know, you could have cut it off. So it's like
Exactly.
you helping out the Mexican style by
Yeah,
shortening
you-
the ring up. And
you
instead of
favoring
saying,
a
"Man,
certain
y'all go
style."
back to the drawing board like Boots had to do and cut off the ring for runners. You know what I mean?
yo, I'm not sure that that's 100% his intent, but the reality is it may not be his intent, but that's what it is, though. It only hurts one style of fighter. It hurts the athletic fighter.
Yeah, and it helps.
Yep.
Yeah, and it helps unathletic fighters. The reality is we've been a
boys.
two styles have been a nightmare for non-athletic fighters to deal with. Black and Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna look at it, the Cubans that give people the most problems look like Deontay Wilder. If you catch my drift, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain level of athleticism and a certain rhythm that is hard for fighters in certain demographics to deal with. But if you close off the ring and you kind of create incentive for guys that just want to stand there and just slug it out, then all of a sudden you take an advantage away from a certain type of fighter, an advantage that has existed for over 100 years.
Facts. You know, because it's more ways outside of cutting off the ring too. Like go to the body more. You know what I mean? Slow. It's a lot of ways to slow a guy down. You know, and then pray that a guy not in shape like that too. To run.
You know, they didn't say that about the whole running thing with Dimitri Bivol in his fights against Archer Beterbiev, did he?
Facts.
No.
And he was moving a lot.
There were people that don't follow boxing. Only people accuse him of running is people that just don't follow boxing like that.
And a lot of these guys that are getting accused of running, like I don't. Devin's last fight was a poor performance, but outside of that, I just think Devin has always used his range more so than his feet to get out of harm's way. So I've never seen Devin as a runner. And then Shakur, outside of De Los Santos, I didn't think he did anything. I just don't think Shakur punches when. Shakur only punches when the coast is absolutely clear. But as far as like constant movement and kind of running around the ring outside of De Los Santos, I didn't really see Shakur do much of that either. So I think some of these guys are getting unfairly characterized as runners when they're not.
Runners. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. I feel like brothers taking slack over what happened with Skull and Haney, especially Haney. You know, the guys taking slack. Right now, I was just looking at a couple shows where guys throwing Shakur in the middle of it, like he's been running and stuff. His last couple fights outside of De Los Santos, so when we know his hand was messed up, you know. So
we don't know that shit. We don't know that shit.
Shakur was right there in the tennis with that Haney versus Ramirez fight. He's like, you copied my whole fucking flow. Word for word, word for word. Well, yeah, I just think it was too many performances that looked the same in one weekend, and it probably just overwhelmed him to the point where he felt like he just needed to do something. Like he giving them a whole lot of money, as we all know. You know, and they got to go in there and perform. He might just need to switch up the formula to like a incentive based type of thing, like what Dana White be doing, you know. But
make the right fight.
Have y'all ever heard the story about how our style was created?
No,
I ain't never. All right, they said that it could have been late 1800s or early 1900s, right? the crowd could, like, the ring was level, and the crowd could be up on the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And the black fighters, when they would get to the ropes, they would get hit in the head by racist fans, right? So black fighter, I'm not sure if this was Joe Gans. I can't remember the fighter's name, but he predicated his whole style by not getting on the ropes so he wouldn't be hit or clubbed over the head with an object. Right.
Yeah.
That's where
bottles and shit.
Yeah, that's where our style comes from.
Okay.
It's a product of racism.
Wow. I ain't know that.
I hadn't heard that either, which it makes sense though.
Backs touch the ropes.
Hey, YSL, man, I got a question for you, brother. Man, is it me, or is it that I'm bewildered over the news with Boots going up to 54? I'm lost, man. You know, after the fight that that he just had, my man, tried to send Brian Norman in the contract, because you know right now Brian Norman and his daddy up in Japan partying when they heard that. That was the happiest day of their life to hear Boots going up to 54.
Oh shit! Here we go. Here we go.
Let me say something.
That's a fact.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Fact. But,
go ahead,
I'm through off because I heard Boots say during the post press conference that or before and after the fight that he had a new nutrition. He said he was he used to just eat with his mom, whatever him and his mom came up with, you know, he'd eat and stuff, but he got a nutrition and he was he changed his whole diet. He didn't even look all messed. He didn't even look weight drained his last fight. But so I felt like he wasn't having a problem making weight. I just feel like it ain't no money there at 147. It ain't no big fights to make. And I feel like Eddie Hearns, he don't care about no undisputed, man. He don't care about, he wants some money. And the bigger fights, money fights, is all up at 54. So I'm just lost on how come. I'm thinking that Boots waiting to after Brian Norman and them fight. I'm thinking he waiting Pacquiao done with my man, because he right there. I mean, he 2 fights away. So why go up now? It's just weird, man. I
don't understand why you feel like it's all right. So I need you to properly look at the landscape, right? He's gonna give a statement. We got an interview tomorrow. But look at the landscape, right? He's been at 147 for 9 years, right?
All right.
So I want you to look at Errol Spence, and we're not making excuses, but the reality is boxing is boxing, right?
Right.
Errol Spence stayed at 147 one fight too long. What happened to Errol Spence? Right? Stephen Curry stayed at one.
That wasn't when 2 fights looked too long. He just ran into a buzzsaw.
There we go.
No.
But I do.
The buzzsaw was a car accident you talking about?
Hear me out.
I do feel like
hear him out.
Wait. You said he ran into a buzzsaw, right? There are always mitigating factors in which performances look the way they do, right? I'm not telling you that Terence Crawford isn't a better fighter, but there's a reason why Terence Crawford moved up 3 weight classes, moved up 4 weight classes. It wasn't just chasing legacy. After a while, it becomes harder, not necessarily to cut the weight, but to perform optimally at that weight, right?
Yeah.
And so Earl Spence stayed at the weight too long. Terence Crawford was always a guy that read the room properly. 35, I beat Gamboa. This is getting a little too tough. I'm out. 140, I got undisputed. I'm out. 147, I got undisputed. But he said, shit, it's hard to make the weight now. I'm going. And then you see guys that wait around a fight or two. And the reality is,
you said key word, undisputed. He got undisputed. What else is there? Undisputed. I understand 135 is the fact that getting tough. I moved up, I got undisputed, moved up again, got undisputed.
Wait,
I have nothing else to prove.
In a week, defending is undisputed. Defending your undisputed is a thing. But the reason why Terence Crawford really dipped is because he said making 147 isn't easy anymore. These are his words, not mine.
Yeah, that's true. He did say that.
Okay.
Right? So when you look at the landscape of dudes that have stayed 1 fight too long, 2 fights too long, and their performances start to dip. And so you have to make a conscious decision. Can I get undisputed? No, you can't get undisputed. What is Mario Barrio showing you that would let you to believe that he wants to unify the division?
I feel it. Because Brian Norman give me the same feeling. I know he ain't gonna fight Boots. I just feel like it's gonna be
No.
Hold on. Even with that Boots thing, let me say this with that Boots thing. With Boots, I'm trying to say they have a
hold on.
Even when Boots,
go ahead.
Even when Boots started out, he had this hype train behind him. Boots started calling out Errol Spence, and he wanted Bud Crawford. Okay, that was easy to say, but at that point in time, because that hype train, Boots hadn't fought anybody in the top 15. So why are you calling? You hadn't even fought anybody in the top 15 at the time, but he had a hype train behind him. And if you notice with Karen, there's a certain type of people they keep in front of Boots. All these guys, slow hands, slow feet. He doesn't want to get in there with anybody on that athletic level just like him. Notice it, even with Karen, you got a guy with good hand speed, good foot movement, and he couldn't do anything. But look at everybody he's fought.
Man,
he don't want that with Brian Norman. He don't want that with Brian Norman. I'm telling you, he don't want it with Teofimo Lopez.
What is this brother watching? What he watching?
Who's that talking? Who's that talking?
King Cam's dad.
That's Marcus. That's Marcus Walker.
Man, Marcus Walker, you are in the matrix, brother.
Wait, Marcus,
I don't know what you see.
The reason why the Brian Norman fight didn't happen November 9th, was that because of Boots or was it because of Norman?
I think that was because of just the business of it.
That was the business. Be more specific, though.
JR, who was that over, JR?
That is over Norman, and they're disagreeing about the money.
All right, he went about the money, but number two, he said the fight couldn't even happen because they just had surgery on the hand, and then eventually the hand didn't heal well. But remember, they were negotiating, right?
Yeah, they wasn't even gonna fight him.
Well, no. Yeah, so you can't blame that fight not happening on Boots.
Right.
The fight didn't happen because number one, Norman wasn't necessarily happy with the money, but number two is that Norman, the injury didn't heal the way that they thought, and so they needed more time. That's not a Boots thing. So when you say,
but I don't think he said it was Boots though. I don't think he ever said it was a Boots thing. He said it was the business of boxing.
No. He said that Boots didn't want it with Norman, but the only reason why it didn't happen.
That's what he said.
Is because
I'm saying even now, like they say, they sent them a contract. This second time. Okay, now you got Eddie Hearn. You got Eddie Hearn. Hold on, Eddie Hearn is talking. You got Eddie Hearn talking, like he said, like Brian Norman them said. Hey, we getting ready to fight Jen Sasaki. We want to fight you next. Let us handle Jen Sasaki the same way that Boots was talking about when he just fought this last fight. He didn't want to talk about anybody else. So why in the world you won't give Brian Norman that same respect that say, hey, we got a fight sign. You're not going to fight anyway, Boots, because you just fought. So let him fight his fight. They're saying we want you next. We want you next.
Let me stop you right there. No contract was sent. No contract was sent.
Right.
A phone call was made. Right. I gotta be specific. Phone call was made. They didn't want to negotiate. Mind you, they only fought 2 weeks apart. Okay.
But you fought. The thing is, your fight is over. I got a fight coming.
Just wait. They fought 2 weeks apart. Right. Is Norman could have waited. He said he wasn't going to wait. I'm not mad at him for not waiting, right? But the fact of the matter is, you can't get mad at people for not waiting for you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Boots was gonna move up, and they said you got to fight Ortiz, and what he say? I'm staying down. When they said we're gonna put Ortiz in the ring with him, you going up there? You got Ortiz, and what he do? He stayed at 147.
Did he accomplish what he wanted to accomplish?
And now all of a sudden he want to move up and fight a nobody.
Did he accomplish what he wanted to accomplish?
You ain't fighting nobody. You act like you know who Boots about to fight.
Who you
he gonna fight a nobody because they come out they want to get his feet wet. They want to get his feet wet.
I want to reply to my man. I want to reply to my man. Hey, look, like YSM just said, it was a week off, a week.
2 weeks.
And during the reason why Boots wasn't answering questions, just like every fighter, you're not gonna look beyond a fight that's right now in front of you. You have reporters asking Boots questions. I'm talking about during the fight week. weigh-ins, asking him about who you think you're gonna fight next. Of course you're gonna say, man, I'm not gonna look beyond my opponent right now. You can't compare that to Brian Norman, who Jen Sasaki fight just came up. They just started talking about it, and they hurried up and got that fight. That was all the setup with the Chinese dude walked up on.
I'm trying to tell you, Boots is a good fighter. He ain't all that. And as soon as he get in there with somebody that got some pop, first of all, I'm telling you, look at all his opponents. They're handpicked to fit what he does. He don't want to fight nobody just as athletic.
I don't think Brian Norman could
do me a favor. Name the athletic fighters that he don't want to fight. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Hey, that Teofimo fight was there.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
You're not going to do this. Cool.
My man, make it make sense. Hey, look.
No, you're not going to do this.
Hold on. Wait.
Listen. If he ain't going to fight Devin, then I don't believe he really wanted to fight Boots if you don't even want to get in there with Devin. So, I mean, I can't really.
The same Teofimo Lopez that openly declined to fight with Brian Norman Jr. for the WBO welterweight title, regardless of Brian Norman's status.
T.O. was doing the same thing.
Tio? But Tio's trying to make that money. And I understand that. And Brian Norman is not that guy that brings that money. I understand that.
You can't be trying to make money if you turning down fights Turkey trying to make. You can't be trying to make
But I'm just saying, but he can't.
So, let me ask you a question, my man. Do you think, instead of asking that question about Boots, who could, because I ain't nobody out there in the field, I think that 54, 60, all the way to 47, ain't nobody fucking with Boots. Period.
Because he ain't fought nobody.
Okay, so
look at the guys he fight, bro.
So do me a favor. Tell me the dudes that'll give him problems.
Wait. You said Boots ain't fighting nobody, right?
I'm saying it's the style of fighters that he's fighting.
Listen. Let me say this. Do you think Brian Norman could beat Karen?
Hey, can I say one thing?
You think Brian Norman could beat Karen, my man? It's a question. Do you think Brian Norman could beat Karen?
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
So what? He gonna cut off the ring? Because
I just want to say one thing.
I don't know. I ain't see Brian Norman.
I think he knocks Karen out. He knocks Karen out.
Who did he fight? Tell me.
Greg, can I say one thing?
But we're saying he's just stepping up. That's what I'm saying. So the fact is, I understand that he's not a big money fighter. I'm just saying the type of fighter. He knocks Karen out. I can tell you that. He knocks him out. What
have you seen from him?
Wait, what have Brian Norman done to make you think he's going to do that? Who have he fought?
I'm just telling you. From the style, I'm watching the style of fight. Styles make fights.
You going on style,
right? So tell me stylistically why he knocks him out.
You contradicted yourself.
I think because
just real quick, just let me say this thing real quick.
I think the type of pressure that he brings, it's a different fight than Boots standing there trying to, basically. I mean, the style of the fights. I'm just saying. I think the pressure that he brings, he breaks it down.
I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and you just tell me what's what. Why didn't he knock Quentin Randolph?
Thank you. Good question. Great.
That was a good fight. I mean, hey, styles make fights. You're not gonna knock out everybody.
No. You said styles, right? The guys that he's knocked out, you could say are very similar to Boots' opponent. Guys that would be available outside of Karen. Okay, well, tell me why didn't he knock Quentin Randolph?
Because he didn't get the knockout.
Come on, man, make it make sense.
And
he didn't get the knockout.
Come on, man. So what will happen? So what will you say about Brian Norman if Quentin Randall ends up getting knocked out in his next fight?
Against Rohan Polanco.
Quentin Randall was just one name. I feel like.
Wait, he fighting Polanco?
Yeah, he just didn't get the knockout.
Who have Brian Norman fought though?
Can I just say this? Can I just say my piece?
Hold on, you make the point that I said that the fact is he's just stepping up and he's not that guy who's gonna bring the
when it was with Boots, it's he don't want to face that style, but when it was Brian Norman, he just didn't get the knockout.
Thank you.
Well, hold on. Let me.
Did you see how you moved that though?
But hold on, I didn't say he was gonna knock Boots out. I just said he beat Boots.
Hold on, you do know they.
I didn't say he was gonna knock him out. I think he beats Boots.
Why though?
The reality is when it comes to Boots, you said he doesn't want to fight a certain style.
Hey, just real quick. Like.
Yeah, go ahead, Walt.
Real quick. We got
name
YSM
anyone.
and we got Hook. Just real quick, we got another guy talking for Brian Norman. But if we watch both of them guys fight, we've seen Brian Norman get dropped by guys that are not that good. But even if Brian Norman and Boots fought, whoever won that fight, Mario Barrios is not interested in fighting him. So it was smart for Boots to move up.
I get that.
It's smart for Boots to move up and let Brian Norman beat at 147.
At 47, as long as Mario Barrios got that belt. He's fighting a 46-year-old fucking man.
But for the money.
Right.
Anybody, Boots would have took that fight hands down.
Hey, I got a question,
my point is, you want to unify with the dangerous guys. So why are you saying, if you want to be undefeated,
we're just saying that's a money fight. Brian Norman would have took that fight. Boots would have took that fight.
No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying, though.
You want to become undisputed, and dude is showing you that you won't be able to get that fight. Why are you staying in the division?
Bro, they will make that fight.
No,
they tried to fight Mario Barrios years ago, and he said no.
I think whoever else gets all the belts and that Barrios fight comes up, he'll fight it. I think that's what Barrios is waiting on.
Based off of what, though?
I'm just saying. I just think he's waiting on that one shot to be. He wants somebody to unify besides him. Besides him, that's just his thought pattern.
I'm lost, man.
Brian Norman tried to fight Mario Barrios. He wouldn't fight Brian Norman. He's not interested.
I say he's wanting everybody else to get the belt, and then he's the last one with a belt that he'll take that fight because of the money. I think that's just.
He turned both of them guys down.
That's a bad move by him. Like
I know it is. It is. That's what I'm saying. I'm just thinking.
He could have had the fight with at least the amount of Stanionis for WBC and WBA, and he didn't even do that.
Mario, yes, he turned down Stanionis.
Right, because he's trying to take the least path of resistance. That's what he's trying to take. I just think that's what he's trying to do.
And the guy who runs who he has a belt is going to let him keep the belt because he's Mexican.
I see both sides of what you guys are trying to say. I think on YSM side, which I totally agree with, if Boots looks at the overall landscape and he looks at what he believes Mario Barrios is going to do, even if he believes Brian Norman will make the fight, he's probably thinking that Barrios won't. So that's a wrap on that. Why would I stay at 147? What you're saying is that you believe that at some point Mario Barrios would make that fight, but that's just your personal belief, absent of any evidence that would support it. Is basically what you're saying. It's just your belief, right? He said
right on the interview on the Zone that he has no interest in them fights right now.
Okay,
so I think he wants everybody else to unify with three belts.
After Pacquiao, he said he's going to fight Alex Rocha.
Yeah, again, I think everybody's trying to force their interpretation on other folks. I don't think you're saying anything totally different than what he is saying, right? He's saying that he believes that
Brian Norman would fight each other.
My man tried to dog Boots' resume, asking us who did Boots fight, and he don't think that Boots
y'all hung up on that.
No, it's not. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean who did he fight. I'm just saying look at the style of the guys that they put in front of him. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Brian Norman won his title against a guy who just stands right in front of you. And the fight before that, he got dropped by a bum.
So look,
and the belt said,
hold on. To be fair, he was picked to lose that fight though.
But look, what you need to realize is that Boots done had all the styles in front of him. If you really think about it, look at Karen. You ain't gonna get nobody to run like Karen was on the first fight.
Been dropped.
Hey man, come on, man. Like,
what that mean?
Come on. Hey,
he was running. Boots dropped him, beat his ass, and dropped him too. It still wasn't good enough for everybody.
I get what you saying, brother. I get what you saying, but you overselling Boots' resume too. I think Boots' resume is solid.
Yeah.
People try to dismiss it. I don't think you should dismiss it. I think it's pretty solid. But you hyping up Karen. You hyping up Karen like Karen is like some kind of damn world beater, man.
For a reason. This is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I feel like Brian Norman can't beat him. Also, I believe
stop it.
Just like Speedy
I think Brian Norman beats Karen.
I think he knocks Karen out.
Hey, hold on, Rashid.
Wait, you
I think
said
it's a tough fight, but he wins.
Wait, hold on.
Man,
I
why
think
we?
Brian Norman gets dropped against Cameron, but he wins the fight.
I believe it's the opposite, y'all. I think that Brian Norman don't want to fight nobody that got pop and speed like that. Cause you put somebody like that in front of Brian Norman, he in trouble.
Man, look. Hold on.
The guy with athleticism, he got dropped.
Guys, hold on. You guys keep talking about it.
I respect what you're saying. If you put somebody in front of Brian Norman like that, he loses. What I'm saying
No.
Boots' whole resume is that.
But hold on, guys. Hold on. If you put,
they made him fight dude twice.
But hold on.
He looked bad twice, and he looked bad twice.
No, he ain't look bad. That's a lie. That's a lie. The second fight
in that fight against Karen.
That's a lie. The second
Hey,
fight.
only one person at a time.
Yeah. We gotta have one person at a time. We gotta have one person at a time.
If we
right.
being honest though, it's too soon to be talking about resumes for either one of you.
I agree.
Correct.
So,
And one statement, real quick. You guys talking about if you put an athletic, hard punching fighter in front of him, this guy will have problems. And every damn fighter will have problems if you put that kind of guy in front of him.
Hey, yo,
think so.
when you mention that, how many guys are like that? How many human beings are actually like
Facts.
athletic, hard punch?
Facts.
Ain't too many.
So who is dude
here's the
talking
truth about
about?
resumes,
Say
right?
dude's running from.
I'm not even saying resumes. I'm just saying the style of fighters that they're putting in front of them, not the resume.
Like what style?
Real fast, bro. Roman Villa versus Rashidi Ellis was a title eliminator. The winner was going to fight Boots. Is it Boots' fault that Rashidi Ellis lost that fight?
Right.
no.
Or you would have been fighting.
Is it Boots?
Villa beats everybody on Brian Norman's on resume.
Is it Boots?
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Ordered Cody Crowley, and Cody Crowley couldn't compete.
I remember that.
I think he just retired. Didn't he just retire?
Yeah, I think he just retired.
I don't think Brian Norman could beat Villa. I think that'll be a problem for him because he's gonna try to bang with him. My man got heavy hands.
So when you say like the opponents that he's had, wasn't necessarily his fault.
No, I agree with that.
To win that fight, that's a style that was a fight that we all wanted to see. Rashidi Ellis was supposed to win. He lost. Boots was the winner.
Right.
Cody Crowley ended up not passing the physical, so now he had to fight David Adnugent. So a lot of his resume isn't necessarily shit that he did. It's just a roll of the dice.
Hey, and what's crazy is right now, when Boots gone, a lot of guys gonna start moving up to 47 now because a lot of dudes probably didn't want to move up because Boots was there. So Brian Norman about to run into a couple guys like that.
Yeah, but Brian Norman destroys Devin Haney, so let's not even talk about that.
I agree.
He ain't gonna have to. All he's got to do is walk forward. He ain't gonna get hit with nothing. You know what I'm saying? So this is Brian Norman's time because if the only dude that could beat him there is Boots. Right now, Devin Haney, Brian Norman beats. Timo, Brian Norman beats. It's like, and I think Boots beats Brian Norman, but I think all them other dudes, Brian Norman beats.
You ain't never seen Brian Norman fought nobody that's moving around the ring.
Yeah, but Devin Haney, against Devin Haney, you just have to cut off the ring. You've never seen Devin Haney beat anybody his size. It's all, if you look at Devin Haney's whole resume, he's dominant against little guys.
How big is Jose Ramirez?
That's true.
Yeah, but he ran against him, man. He ran against him. If somebody can cut off the ring against Devin Haney, his size is going to beat him.
Just tell me how big Jose Ramirez is.
No, but honey, he was washed by then. You know that, bro.
It don't matter. He asked you how big he was.
Ramirez got 2 losses. How's he washed?
And that wasn't the question. He asked you how big.
No, at YSM. I agree with you on the size there, but he was washed by then. It's like, I want to see Devin against Hitchison. Somebody his size. I pick Hitchison against Devin Haney. Boots kills Devin Haney. That ain't even a fight.
Why are you picking Hitchison against Devin though? I don't understand.
Boots. I mean, I think people are underselling Devin Haney.
What is Hitchins done for you to pick him over Devin?
My whole thing with Devin Haney is all his good wins against real little guys. He fought. I want to see him fight against somebody that can hit him at distance.
But size don't win the fight though.
All right, man.
I think
coming up soon. So, do you agree with BFTV that Devin Haney could beat Boots?
And look, I believe that if Devin fighting bigger guys, he gonna have a better chance against bigger
the
guys.
reason why Devin can't
Boots destroys Devin Haney
because of size. It's because
and I believe Brian Norman cuts off the ring and makes it hard for Devin Haney.
We don't know if Brian Norman could cut off the ring. He ain't fought nobody just running around like that.
He ain't fought no movers like that.
He got tailor-made fights. Brian Norman, the one got tailor-made guys.
I ain't gonna go there for and say tailor-made.
I'm just like, I mean, we like who we like.
But
You guys are underselling Devin. I've seen Devin. We've been in the ring with Devin. Y'all, I'm telling you, you're underselling the guy. I mean, of course, it was devastating for a man to even get up after you doing that with Ryan Garcia. His next fight, he didn't look good. I mean, he just went through. That was life altering for a fighter. But he got the fuck up. He fought. But I'm trying to tell. But he's a fucking goddamn fighter.
Devin can fight. I agree with y'all on that. But when somebody his size got some pop, that's what I want to see.
I'm saying but I'm just saying.
So look, man.
No, but
come on, man. So Ryan said you putting Jose Ramirez to Brian Norman.
Hey, bro, we gotta keep it 100, man.
I'm saying
Haney's a little shell shocked, man. I think he's a little shell shocked.
There we go.
Yeah, I think he's shell shocked, but he'll be back, man.
So we gotta talk.
You have to run more defense against Ramirez against Brian Norman.
See, we gotta talk about the before Garcia, Devin, after Garcia. Devin.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Two different.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll be back, man.
Devin before Ryan Garcia, I agree with y'all. He's the better fighter. I just think he's shot now. I think he's going to be scared to get hit. I think he's going to be scared to get hit, y'all.
Why we writing him off after his first loss?
No, hey, bro. Until I see it, I got to see it first.
I've never been that impressed with Devin.
I want to see Devin Haney fight like he fought Lomachenko, like stand right there.
Devin is good, but something's missing with Devin.
Yo, them little guys he did. Lomachenko he did. He stood right there.
I mean, that's like Tank resume. That's like Tank resume. Either he gonna drain guys or he gonna bring little
Tank's
guys.
130 pounder who fights at 135, man.
Not draining everybody now.
But I'm saying, but either he gonna drain guys or he gonna bring little guys up. And what he did with Roach was a cherry pick going wrong.
Man, you
Roach fought at 135 more than Tank has, brother. Come on now.
Guys,
Check, you know your boxing.
I know my boxing.
Roach is bigger than Devin Haney. Bigger than Tank.
But that's what I mean. As a cherry, he was bringing a smaller guy up.
Who's the smaller guy?
Who had fought at 135 more, Roach or Tank?
What's that?
Who moved up for that fight?
Roach started his career at 135. He moved down.
Who moved up for that fight? I'm not asking you that. What weight class was
Roach started his career? Who's the bigger guy, Roach or Tank?
Okay. I'm asking you, who moved up? What weight division?
Roach was squeezing down, fighting at 130. I knew that was going to be a good fight, just like Greg and them. Because Roach can fight.
Hold on. What's funny about this what be funny about it, though, because everybody swear they knew it was going to be a good fight, but you ain't hear nobody say Tank by decision. All you heard was Tank by KO. That's all you heard, but now all of a sudden we said Tank by decision. We said Tank by decision. We said it was going to be a close fight. Man, roll the clip, man.
Man,
we've been saying that.
Tank, I don't get that, man. Tank wasn't even in the conversation, man. They always gotta, people hate Tank more than they hate anybody. I just don't get it, man.
I mean, people gonna criticize
Tank strays, man.
Shit, man.
Yeah. Lil Haney passes out pictures of Tank's his jail pictures, but if you say something about Devin, he's like, why can't we all just get along? Like, come on, man. It's like the Tank hate is crazy. It's like
Tank need to step up. That's why he's
Tank has stepped up. Look at all the dudes Tank beat. They all became champions.
Bro, think about
and then Devin tries to fight all his leftovers.
Tank drains everybody.
Yo, Ryan was
not Tank drain everybody. Oh my gosh.
And then
why you got a rehydration clause? You brought Garcia up 2 weight classes.
Garcia should have made it weight the first fight. When they were going to fight the first time, it was going to be 135.
No, then when Pitbull gave you a little run, and you said you had a hurt hand, and they asked you, would you rematch? And he said, hell no.
He did have a hurt hand. You see his hands blown up after the fight, man. The Tank hate is crazy, man.
But you can jump your ass up and fight. You can jump at 140 and fight Barrios, but then nobody else.
Tank is barely 5'5".
I don't get
now.
why you going. So why you going up to fight Barrios then?
So
why you going
He
up to
did
fight
that one
Barrios?
time, and as soon as the fight was over, he said, "I shouldn't do that anymore." So why didn't Tank? Why didn't Devin Haney jump up and fight Terence Crawford?
We not saying that. We talking about what happened.
So
we talking about what happened.
no. Why didn't Devin Haney jump up and fight Terence Crawford?
What do you mean? Why didn't he jump
Why
up?
didn't Devin Haney jump up and fight Arrow? Because he's bigger than both of them. He's bigger. He's physically bigger than both of them.
Hey, bro.
Around the time when Tank went up and wait to fight my man, that was a long time ago, and there wasn't a lot of good boxers at 140 at the time. It wasn't a lot of good fights to make. 140 wasn't even popping like that. 35 was jumping at the time.
But I'm saying you can skip past that and go up there to fight this Barrios guy. Then you put a rehydration clause on him. Go fight him and let that man fight where he fight.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. Everybody destroys Tank, a guy who's 5'5", barely.
Care about your boy? Get out of boxing then.
He weighs in at like 133. And everybody want him to fight, jump up to 147. How come y'all never say that about Devin Haney?
Hey, he was bigger than Pitt. He was taller than Pitbull.
Never say that about Devin Haney. Never say
he was
it.
bigger than Pitbull.
Why y'all deflecting off what I just said? Yo, he never did this, he never did that. Why does Devin Haney, a dude who's bigger than Terence Crawford, who's bigger than Errol Spence, who's just almost as big as Boots, keep fighting these little dudes and to get all this credit for it?
I agree with that. I definitely agree with
Yo,
that.
come on now. Yo, if y'all gonna say that about Tank, you gotta say it about Devin. You can't do that.
He had 2 fights at 142. He ain't stay at 140 at all. He went straight up.
Devin don't even fight at a weight class. He fight at 144. He called Richardson Hitchins up at 147 last night, and Devin ain't never fought at 147. Come on now. Devin Haney has his own rules, man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, there's a.
Hold on. So wait. How
Go
you
ahead.
feel about Canelo then?
What about Canelo?
If you defending Tank, if you defending Tank like this, you gotta love.
I want Crawford to beat the shit out of Canelo.
Yeah,
No.
I hate Canelo worse than I hate any fighter in the sport.
No, we're not gonna talk like that. We're not gonna talk like that now. We're not gonna be talking like that now. We're not gonna be talking about no Terence Crawford beating the shit out of Canelo. We're not gonna talk like that. We're not gonna talk that into existence.
Why you hate Canelo? Canelo done more than Tank, so why you hate Canelo?
I hate Canelo, bro. What has Canelo done? Where's Canelo's big win? Triple G?
Bro, he got one of the craziest
Where's
resumes in
the
history.
big win, y'all?
Canelo,
His 2-step fights, he got destroyed by Floyd and Bivol.
Canelo resume is one of the craziest resumes in
All
the
the
history
other
of
dudes
boxing.
after them were way past.
His last 5
He
fights.
won a European diet.
A great
So
resume.
Rocky Fielding was a great fight. Howdy O'Dellum was a great fight.
I'm not understanding.
Liam Smith was a great fight.
Well, yeah, that's not.
Benavidez was standing there all that time. When Charo and Boo Boo was standing there all that time, he went on a straight Euro diet. And y'all giving him credit for that?
You giving Tank credit. He didn't fight
Hold on, hold
Devin
on.
or Loma. What
Listen,
we talking about?
Canelo be cherry picking. He be all the good names on his resume. He be catching them on the decline. All of them.
Like Floyd, huh?
Sound like Bud. Sound like Bud.
Triple G.
Sound like Bud.
And then first fight he lost.
Courtney, sound like you describing Bud.
Floyd was 37 years old and beat him every round.
I say
every round.
I say it sounds like you describing Bud.
How you in one breath defend Tank, but then you criticize Canelo who's done more? I don't understand that.
How's he done more?
And
he's done. You guys are going by the media push. What has he done?
We going off who they fight. That ain't no media push. It's the niggas they get in the ring.
So where's the big win at then? You guys still haven't named his big win.
What has Tank done? Hold
on. But why y'all trying to kill Tank? I don't get it. Everybody runs back to Tank.
Because he getting all this hype and he ain't done nothing.
Y'all was shit on Tank over every other fighter, and I do not get it, y'all.
How many weight classes has he conquered? How many weight classes
Tank?
has he undisputed in?
I mean, Tank.
How many weight classes can Tank go to? He had 3 belts at 154, right? And Boo Boo had the other belt. He didn't want to unify. He had 3 belts. He had 3 belts at 160. Charo had the other belt. He didn't want to unify, right? All of a sudden, Benavidez uses his belt for drugs. Oh, I'm at 168 now. Here I come. And then Benavidez says, okay, let's fight. I ain't going nowhere near you.
How many belts Canelo had at 54? How many belts Canelo had at 60, you said?
Didn't he have 3?
Okay, how
And
many?
then he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight for the other one. He waited till Benavidez lost his belt. Greg, you know that. He waited till Benavidez lost his belt and then ran up there to fight Liam Smith,
Exactly.
Rocky Fielding, and Javier Yodero.
How many unifications Tank got?
Javier Yodero!
Come on now.
Man, why? How do we get? How are we talking?
Every sports fan who Javier Yodero, they're gonna look at you like you said.
Right now, man.
Come on, bro. Y'all know that's true.
If Tank lose to Roach, then what? Roach did lose to
Then he
Roach.
loses. I'm not one of them dudes. I'm not a person who, dude. I'm not a person who, when they dug Devin Haney up from that dirt beating he got from Ryan, I didn't celebrate. You guys celebrate anything bad that happens to Tank, and I don't get it. What has he done that hurt y'all that much?
What if Tank hasn't done anything?
Because his fans, look at Tank's fans like him, just like Terence's fans like him.
Hey, hold on.
I picked Errol Spence to beat Terence Crawford.
I got one of those guys. Tank was one of those guys that was gifted a certain thing. He got with AB and things of that sort. And he ended up with
Devin wasn't?
I'm just saying that lifted his goddamn thing. But you got to think, even on the amateur level, Tank ain't never fought on a national level.
Hold on, let him finish.
He never fought on a national level in the amateurs.
Hey, my man.
He just knew people. He knew people.
Y'all are saying Tank ain't good?
No, we're not saying he's not
great.
But he's good at what he does. Hey, when they first tried to put him in front of Loma, he was about to cuss Floyd Mayweather out.
Hold on. Let me. Hold on.
Right.
I got a question. I got a question.
Hold
on. Guys, I got a question. So I gotta ask.
No Moschino.
I got a quick question. Mark.
He ran from him.
Marcus Walker, I got a question for you.
He's fighting guys
hold on, Walt.
I want to hear that same velocity, man.
Hey, hold on.
David Benavidez is like crazy. Benavidez, but you say nothing.
One second.
When him in the court just to Bill Haney.
Walt. Hold on real quick. So Marcus Walker, do you have a personal relationship with the Haneys? I'm just curious.
No,
he has to, man.
Hold on. I called Bill.
Let him answer.
I called Bill after the loss, and I said, Bill, I called Bill after the loss.
So you applaud.
Walt. No. Let him talk.
Greg, you got to do a bar on your channel.
I said, he's coming off this loss.
I'm 63 years old. I've never met Tank. I'm from the Bean. I'm from Boston.
Hold on. I get it, Walt. Let him finish.
My son fights.
Walt, let him finish. Let him finish.
Oh, you that dude that used to be on for long, the dude that be under Devin Haney's nutsack. Send him down.
Can I talk?
Oh my God! I didn't know it was you.
Bro,
hold on. Walt, hold on. Let him talk.
No, that's wrong. I remember you on for long. You was living for Devin Haney. I can't even compete with that, man. Y'all have a good one.
Come on. I said, bro, you're coming off a loss. I said, I tell you what. Cam had 3 fights at the time. I said, why don't you bring him to Atlanta? I said, put him in there with Cam just to see I want to see where my son is. Bring him to Atlanta. We don't even want a purse. We want to go off ticket sales. Because I know we can say, I said, we can bring it here, we can bring it to the Gateway or State Farm. We'll help co-promote it. The man told me, I ain't fucking with you and Cam. My son had 3 fights at the time. 3. Okay. And I just said, hey, but I know the risk reward. That's why I said we don't even want a purse. I want to see what my son, even though we done sparred before, we done been in there before, but he know. But I tried. So it's like my son's 5-0 now, 5 knockouts. He ain't no beast. I'm not saying he will be a world champion. I know that much. I know the Norman's closer than I know the Haneys.
Yeah,
We've been in there with all of them. Tank. We've been in there with Tank. We've been in there with Devin Haney. We've been in there with Shakur. We've been in there with all these guys. Regis Prograis. Yeah. So I'm just saying, we're in the fight game, and we try to get out here and just say, hey, we want to make some stuff happen. Let's make some stuff shake.
Facts.
I think that's why Brian Norman don't want to fight Boots, because he been in there with him before. Boots done whooped him.
Oh, here we go with this crazy shit again.
He whooped on him.
Hey, they did admit to taking a shellacking in the first time.
And I heard he got hit in the stomach, dropped, quit, and all that. Yeah, he don't fuck that.
We can see these guys. I'm just like, we see them. I love Shakur. I love that. I love what Haney. I love what his dad has done, because you got to think. Look where he got this man out in the business aspect. Look where he got this kid, and he wasn't signed to a major promotional deal. He got him there. That's the whole point of what you get in this game for. At the end of the day, it's fighting, but it's prize fighting. He got his son like he's one of the top earners just on stuff that he's done. He's not an Olympian. He's not this. I respect the grind. All these father and son teams, and I respect the ones that can go on to the Olympics and get signed and have these big deals and have these big push. You know, Top Rank is one of the, if not, they are the best, you know, kind of like build-up team. They got the best matchmakers in the business for building a fighter up.
Yes, fact.
Hands down. So I respect it, but I just like, it's hard out here, man. You know, my son just signed with BLK Prime, you know, on a media deal.
Congratulations, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Y'all,
we only 5-0.
TKO? Y'all talking to TKO yet?
Nah. My sons, anyone we signed with this art promotion, I just skipped the thing and we just did a media deal with BLK. So my son, you know, we can still sign with a promotion company, but anytime we go to a promoter, we're gonna let them know that my son has a promotion company. We'll co-promote whatever we need to co-promote, and that's fine.
Would you entertain that boxing league they talk about if they came to you?
If it makes sense. If it makes sense for us.
I guess they starting guys off with like 20K or something like that, 20K a fight. So like,
I ain't no money.
Yeah, they ain't.
I mean, you know, to some, you know, you got to think. I'm like, yeah, people sit back and think about it. I mean, I financed my son his first 5 pro fights. I'm like $40,000 in. People don't understand from travel. We fought twice out of 5 fights. We fought twice overseas. We've been to Colombia twice. So people don't understand, like, you're paying purses, you're paying flights and hotels and per diem. Lodging, for the other fighters and everything.
Trainers, sparring partners, all of that.
Right. All that, man. And people don't understand that. So I respect Bill Haney and these other guys that start from this ground level and you done built this guy up to this. I give him more because you don't have that push. And he talked that stuff like he's the father, like he's like Don King. But he's the father version of Don King. He gonna talk that talk, walk that walk, but all of that he just puts his son on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And people want to see him lose, but I have to respect it, man. From where they started, because I'm like, shit. Hey, somebody get my son out my pockets. Shit.
I feel that.
Real, bro. It's hard. People. My thing is like I said. Usually, guys don't. These promotion companies don't touch these kids until they're 10-0. When you start now, you gotta be 10-0, 12-0, and stuff like before they even entertain touching you. I'm just proud of them to say, hey, we got him something, and he's 5-0.
Yeah,
thank you.
Listen to get them from the jump, or they coming off of like Olympics or
like
amateur championships. They'll sign you off the rip, but if not, then you're gonna have to wait until
you got to grind it out. We
Yeah.
stepped away. My son as an amateur was 76-23 as an amateur. 4-time national champion, 8-time Florida state champion. But my son took a little break from the amateurs. My son has a master's degree.
Okay.
You know, so, and that's one of the big points that I told him. I was like, hey, he wanted to come out after he got his bachelor's. I said, no, you stay in school. And I said, you watch how this works for you. You're the only fighter in boxing right now in the United States with a master's degree. They can't say because you went to college and stuff. No, you were Team USA already, so we know you can fight. But you bring something else that these people have to look at and just say, hey, on this back end, look what we can draw in from people that like him as a kid, his education. So when he fight, they're gonna automatically follow him. You're gonna earn your stripes in the ring, but everybody has to look at what he can bring outside of the ring. We're in talks with people like we're in talks with I'm trying to get Home Depot, Delta Airlines, Hilton, because it is different. He is different. Bring something different to the sport. Your fighting will speak for itself, and then we just got to grow off of this. I want your brand to be bigger outside this ring or just as big outside this ring as it is inside the ring, because that name and stuff, what you build, is going to carry on no matter whether you're fighting or not.
Yeah,
and,
totally agree.
I tell you, I respect these guys. I respect all these guys in the game and what they're doing. The Shakur Stevensons and Devin Haney's, I Tank everything. Tank parlayed himself into a position that, and anytime we all know, and I just have to be honest, anytime you don't have to do as much and you can still be paid, that's one thing like Mayweather. I wouldn't sign with him on certain things because maybe now, but I said a certain like 6 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Anytime a person feels like I can just open my eyes and I can go out here and get in the ring and damn near make $100 million, they'll never put anybody over them. Even his own fighters. He gonna make sure he's bigger than you. And that's what Tank got tired of and walked away.
No.
Yeah, I always get the
thing is
vibe
this.
that he'd
See,
be like that.
you gotta understand something. You see, I'm TBE, so I mean, I got fighters. I got a lot of fighters, but you know, my thing is, it all gotta be. It's all about me, though. No, I'm just playing.
Right. I put him in the jet. You see the jet, right? Like, let that man shine. Let him shine. Let him grow. You take a step back and you put your guys on a pedestal. But no.
I disagree with that, though, man. You know why?
No, that's true. That's true.
Wait, let me tell you why.
No, that's true. That's why a number of the fighters have left them.
Wait, we talking about two total different generations, you know. And, you know, Floyd, when he left boxing, They tried to say that he was trying to overshadow Tank with his little fighting Chinese dudes and Logan Pauls. Man, I wasn't going to outshine Tank. Tank was tripping to me with that. It seemed like he would want Floyd to keep fighting and stuff, because all he doing is making him bigger. Everybody, Tank where he at, not only just because of Floyd, but it's because he be putting shit to bed. He knocking niggas out. Everybody want to see him knock niggas out, period. The boy got a 90-some% knockout rate. Floyd ain't had that. So imagine a slick fighter like Floyd, but putting shit to bed. That's what Tank is. So it's like, I believe it was a little jealousy going on, and on the other end, it seemed like he wouldn't mind Floyd still being in the limelight because it helped him out. You know, that's like family. But
Floyd, the type of guy to throw that in your face, though. He'll throw it in your face that he helped you, that he put you on. He seemed like that type of guy that would just throw it in your face like that, man.
Well, he put him in the game. I mean, think about it. After the Tank really got on when Floyd fought the MMA fighter. What's his name, fellas? Help me out.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Tank was on that undercard. The world watched that. That was a big fight, pay-per-view. Crazy numbers. Man, Floyd had him piggybacking. He was piggybacking off Floyd off a lot of major crazy cars to put him where he at. You know,
but that's what your promoter's supposed to do.
Yeah,
you're a promoter. You're not my friend.
So
you're doing your job.
My point is, will one do reflect on the other? So it's like, how is he still in his shine? To me, that whole narrative is just weird and crazy to me. People say that.
I mean, I remember one fight that Camille Moon had, and he ended up getting up there talking about himself. I think it was his first pro win.
That was on that Canelo.
That was his debut.
Yeah,
You didn't stole his shine. Let that young man shine. You get up there talking about yourself.
He wouldn't have been shining if like that. If he
it don't matter, but I'm just saying.
It's not your moment. Let that young man talk.
Right, yeah, that's what he's asking. So that means what? I'm the best. Right, go sit your ass down. Let that man shine.
Man, he was passing it on to him. Passing it.
You let him talk long enough, he gonna start going through his accolades, man.
Man, I was at that press conference, man. I'm like, what in the world?
Right, just jack that man whole thing.
No, you know what? To be real, I didn't even expect them to come up to the podium there for that press conference, man. But we was like,
he couldn't help it.
For Canelo. I was like,
he couldn't help it.
What's going on?
The sad part about it, though, he don't even need to do any of that. Like, he don't need to be jealous of these young guys, man. He done did so much for the game. Like, you really should be your mission to just keep passing on the knowledge that you accumulated, you know. But it don't seem like that's the case with Floyd.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey guys, we didn't hit our time limit. It's about that time for Jason and I to wrap it up. I'm gonna let you guys get back to your happy Father's Days, and I'm gonna go and celebrate the rest of mine. Same to y'all. It was a good discussion and dialogue outside of. I don't know why. Why did Walt keep calling you Fanon or saying something about you and Fanon, Marcus?
I don't even know Fanon.
Yeah, I think he was mistaking you for someone else.
Oh, I don't know Fernando. Well, was that Fernando that does the boxing stuff? But I don't know in person. I might have seen him online. The guy that used to, I guess he has a podcast or something like that. But I never been on his show or anything. But yeah, I didn't hear him call me Fernando. I didn't hear him.
Yeah, I think Walt had you mixed up with someone else.
Yeah, I don't know Fernando. I mean, I know him from online, but I don't know him personally. I haven't talked to him or anything. But
Yeah, I
it's all
feel
good.
you.
But yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, brother. And just enjoy the rest of your day, man. Much love. And King Cam got a fight coming up July 5th, Shreveport, Louisiana. Just look forward to it. It's going to be on BLK Prime. If you guys get a moment, you can follow him on IG, like real REAL_ King Cam, KINGKAM. And just show some love and support. Young guy just getting started. And we're just pushing it to the masses to see what we can do. And just try to bring something to the sport. And you just watch him carry out his dream. But I appreciate everything. Angry Man Podcast, man, I love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And like I said, happy Father's Day. And everybody just enjoy and be safe.
All right. Appreciate you, fam. Thank you for everybody that called in.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
You appreciate it.
Goodbye.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys attending. Everybody that, gave to the channel, much appreciated. And we'll be back this week with fresh new content. So make sure you be on the lookout for that. Peace.
Peace.